What's up, everyone? Marco from Open Mat Podcast, and today we have special guests John and Travis from Elbows Tight and Elbows Tight Podcast. What
Yes,
up, my
sir.
dudes? What up?
What's up, Marco? How's it going today?
That's going pretty good. Not too bad. It's really actually. I want to ask you guys, how's the weather from where you guys are right now?
Depends on the time of day.
Okay.
Morning is winter.
Yeah.
Afternoon is springtime, followed up by a
damn it.
little bit of summer, and then back into winter.
Yeah. We live in the Pacific Northwest, like the very western point of Washington State, and
Okay.
it's like every day you see all four seasons. It feels
You
like.
dress for all four.
Jesus. Well,
Yeah, so-
it's supposed to be spring in Montreal. It was spring yesterday, but I think God decided to give us 5 centimeters of wet snow. So this morning it's just horrible and windy and
Oh,
yeah, it was so nice the other day. So I'm freezing. That's why I have my hoodie on. I'm just freezing. So, oh man, whatever.
yeah. I wear a hoodie all the time now, just because it's it's a catch-all. It's a
Yeah.
catch-all for us.
And some
Yeah, I really
pretty
like-
nice. Yeah.
I want some heated mat floors too. That's something I'd like for up here.
I was about to say you got some pretty nice hoodies right there.
Thank
Really
you.
nice.
Thank you.
They're very tight. Very tight.
It's only because we're out of shape right now.
Yeah, I was like, can I order something that shows I have abs when I sit down?
Yeah. What-
We
I heard-
recorded an episode a couple weeks ago, and so we batch record our
Mhm.
solo episodes.
Yeah.
And when I was editing it, I was like, God damn, we look fat as shit in these freaking ads. I was like, I'm never not wearing a hoodie again when we record.
Oh, God.
My dad bod is on fleek right now. It's
Yeah.
it's horrible.
Oh man.
So
So I want to ask you guys, what possessed you guys to go on this path of jiu-jitsu? What made you start? What gave you the idea?
John?
you go ahead. Go
No,
first.
you go right ahead, John.
So for me,
Fight it out.
there was no real I want to go do jiu-jitsu. I was
Mhm.
crossfitting at a CrossFit gym, and I'm friends with the owner, and he was talking about starting up a jiu-jitsu school, and
Mhm.
he asked if I'd be interested. So I was like, yeah, I mean, whatever burns calories, I'll go try it out. And they had a 3-day seminar, so I went and did that 3-day seminar, and it was pretty long. What was it, 4 or 5 hours
Yeah.
each day?
Yeah.
And it was pretty brutal. I mean, it was I was getting my ass kicked right out. I mean, just from the start. I was like, okay, if I'm getting my ass whipped this easy, I'm strong. I was younger, and I was like, and I'm just getting manhandled. I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to stick with this and see what's going on. I got to shore up these weaknesses, and that's pretty much how it started for me.
Yeah,
cool.
very similar to John's story, except for I wrestled a little bit in high school. So I had just a very small grappling experience background. And our first gym where he used to take his daughters to gymnastics, we had a CrossFit gym downstairs in
Mhm.
some racquetball courts. And we would go upstairs when the gymnastics were done, and every once in a while we would wrestle around, and Cody, our school owner, would put it on us. And so one day he was talking about the same thing. He was talking about doing jiu-jitsu, and I was like, dude, if you do it, I'll be there 100%. And same thing. Got there, younger, healthier, stronger, meant absolutely nothing. Got my butt whooped by a one-stripe 18-year-old white belt.
He was a monster.
He was an
destroying
animal.
all
He
of
was-
us.
Yeah. And then there was a 250-pound white belt that had grappled for maybe 6 months. I think he probably broke 3 people's backs while we were there. Just, you can't be that big and spazzy, and this guy would just put it on you too. You remember him?
Oh, I do.
Yeah, he was flexible too. It was kind of weird. But yeah, and then, fell in love with it and been doing it now coming up on 5 years.
Yep.
5 years now. So
Oh, nice. That's
both
cool.
blue belts.
Oh, that's good. I'm actually rankless. I have no belt because I am mostly in the nogi,
Mhm.
and I think most nogi or most schools now don't really have a ranking system if it's not 10th planet kind of thing. But yeah, I'm just rankless. I'll be called the white belt, but I have about almost 2 years experience.
Oh,
It's
nice.
still, yeah, it's pretty good. As long as I'm beating the new people walking in, that's my progress right there. That's how I
That's
know,
right.
okay, something is working. So pretty happy
That's
with
what we
that.
tell people. We're like, yeah, you're gonna feel like you're getting your butt kicked for a long time until that new guy shows up, and then you're gonna be like, "Come on, man, let me
Yeah,
let
exactly.
me show you a few things."
It's funny because I have this conversation with my brother and other people too in the family. yeah, if I come to your school, I'll just kick all your asses and use strength. I'm like, what are you talking about?
No.
It's because they have like a black belt and watching UFC, and they have this idea like they're so strong. It's like, yeah, I can like listen. I know you watched Rocky 4 last night. I know you're pumped right now. I feel that you're pumped, but it's you have to face reality. You're going to get destroyed.
Yeah.
But in all fairness, I was that guy too. Like I walked in, like I'm a freak. I'm still in good shape for my age. Like even though some of them are like 10 years younger, I'm gonna kick their asses. Like fucking got manhandled in seconds. I couldn't believe what I was absorbing right now. But when you guys first started, did you have that idea though when you started? Like I'm gonna kill everyone because I'm so young, or it was just like you got a little bit scared in the beginning, or like what was your like mentality when you first started when you just walked in the gym?
I thought I was gonna do better than I did, like I mentioned, because I was like 170 pounds, strong as an ox,
Mm-hmm.
really good shape. I did like competitive CrossFit, so I felt like I had pretty good cardio. So going in there, I knew I wasn't going to do very good at jujitsu because I didn't know jujitsu, but I thought
Mm-hmm.
I would be able to handle it better. But first round, 3 minutes in, I'm like, I would die. Like literally, I would die in the streets. Someone would murder me if I if I fell to the ground, and they had just a little bit of training.
Rape.
So, but it was a good experience. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it was very, I wouldn't say humbling because it's not like I had an ego going into it, but it was an eye opener that, your fitness, your strength, none of that really matters if someone just
Mm-hmm.
knows how to weather the storm.
Yeah.
I just went into it with an open mind. I wasn't really. I didn't even know what I was getting into really, so I didn't know. So I was like, we'll just check this out. I mean, growing up, I watched boxing a lot. Never
Mm-hmm.
really followed the UFC or MMA fights or anything like that. So no idea really what I was getting into. So I just went into it with an open mind, and it was fine. Once the 18-year-old was kicking my ass, and I was 39, I think, when I started,
Oh,
I
nice.
was like, all right, well, his one stripe, he's like a god in here.
Might as well be a
Just-
black belt.
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel-
So I was like, all right, just different mentality. Just thinking about, I always thought if I needed self defense out in the street, it was always going to be my sidearm, not any hand to hand. So that was
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, and another thing about our journey too is our school was brand new when we all started, so it was
Okay.
predominantly white belts. Well, it was only white belts,
Okay.
all white belts, brand new. And our only colored belt we had was Cody, who had just been promoted to purple belt to open the school. So
Oh,
under the
nice.
guy that did the 3-day seminar.
Oh,
So it was all of us were brand new to it. So we all had the same like spazzy, like what the hell's going on, because you could only imagine. We always talk about, don't spar with white belts, but if
yeah.
all you have is brand new white belts, you could imagine the hell that happened on those mats.
Yeah, we
But
were horrible.
horrible. I mean, we were like elbows into thighs,
Yeah,
trying to
I
break
thought that was
open guard,
legit. I was like, let me bruise the inside of that thigh. It'll open up.
going
Oh,
like
God.
trying to do like a paper cutter in someone's guard as you're like stacking. It was
Yeah,
horrible.
yeah.
I completely forgot about how bad we
Yeah,
actually
it's
were.
like, God,
But-
why are my ribs going out every day?
Yeah,
Like, we were
yeah. It was
brutal.
so bad. We had guys that were in their 50s that would come, and they wanted to do, jujitsu with us, and like one guy had a rib popped out every class.
Ooh,
Every class he
wow.
attended, he's all like, "All right, I guess I'm done," and then he's trying to invert and like he's like herniating a disc, and he's like, "This is just ain't for me anymore." And I think it was probably because we were just so
Yeah.
bad at the class was. So it's a lot different now. Obviously, now we've been a school for about 5 years, and now we understand like, hey, brand new white belt, do not roll with the brand new white belt. Like,
Yeah.
come over here. Let's have a little bit of fun first, because that could be very daunting for people too. So.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because for sure, there's all like at my school, I do once in a while get those kids, mostly kids that quote unquote, I see red, bro. So they see red, they
Yeah.
see kill. I gotta kill, and I do appreciate when the coach does like step in and say, "Listen, calm down. Like you gotta relax. You're gonna not hurt them, but more importantly, you're gonna hurt yourself." And
Mhm.
that has happened where people just like snap their ankle on a bad roll because they just bad positioning, bad leverage. And it's like,
Yep.
Jesus, like calm down, dude. It's like, and I actually, on that note, I only saw my coach get mad once, and that's when I had the greatest respect for him. I don't know if you guys ever had this at your school, but like, there was a new guy, big guy, two big guys, but one of them was really aggressive, going after this young 17-year-old, probably like 150 pounds, and this guy was over 200 pounds easy. So after the third warning, my coach just lost it on him. He's like, "Listen, it's 3 warnings. What the F are you doing kind of thing. You're going to hurt him. And he just like pretty much kicked him out of the school. And for that, I kind of had the greatest respect for him because it shows that he's actually caring for his students because this guy he's going to hurt like everybody. I don't know what he's going through, but he was like about to destroy you. Did you guys ever have that moment where like there was someone going a little bit too hard in the gym and you're like, you guys have to like settle down a bit or?
You know,
To that extreme?
if I'm going with anyone, I guess I may have felt like I was going with someone like really hard. Like, I don't know if you ever heard our bear story.
Yeah.
But normally I just roll through it. I just switch to like purely defensive and that's it. I just get through it. Sometimes if they're really new, I'll just tell them, hey man, you can calm down.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to go so hard. Just relax, breathe, but
Yeah, I was that guy. I was for the first like 2 years of our journey. It was like, Travis, stop going so hard. Travis, stop using so much strength. Travis, you're hurting people. And I don't think I ever actually hurt anyone, but you know, people were in fear because I would use too much strength. And John had a good point about, you know, when it's instead of like saying, hey, stop using so much strength, how about you learn how to counter the strength? And that's why he goes so defensive sometimes, like, because it's like the best way he can counter it is by just letting you work and hopefully tiring your ass out.
Yeah, I'll just hold them. I'll hug them, whatever. I'll just let them get tired.
Yeah.
Whisper in his ear kind of thing.
Yeah. But now if I roll with like someone that's you know, using a lot of strength or something like that, I usually just get to a dominant position and just cook them. You know what I mean? Like let them like wear them out. Like, all right, dude, like this is only going to last for so long, you know? So I don't let them get in mount. I don't let them get in too dominant of a position. I'll still let them work, you know, and use their momentum to like sweep them or something like that. But it's a lot easier now to tame the bear, you know?
Yeah.
So
it's true though. I noticed that too. I rolled with this relatively new guy. He's been at the gym for about a month. And he's a much bigger guy than me. I'm about 180. He's well over 200 pounds. And he looks like a really strong guy. But it's the point where it's like he's wrestling me. He's really aggressive. He's not even going for my legs like that, trying to pass my legs. He's just like using his hands to get to me, my neck. But it's like my legs are in front of you. Like try to like push my legs. He's just like, ugh, and he's probably after 2 minutes he finally gave up, and I just like put him in a triangle. But I realized that, and I'm not that white belt that oh my god, what am I doing? It's like, oh great, I can actually make these people get tired, kind of thing. Yeah, it's kind of happy for me. So
yeah, it's a great superpower to have.
Yeah, it is. I tell my wife, she's like, "Oh, I did this and that." I was like, "Oh, that's good stuff. I'm so happy for you." My wife like has no idea what I'm talking about. It's like I told her I did like, and here's a weird thing. I don't know if you guys do this. Here, I do this on my wife a lot. I always go.
Wait, what we're about to talk about here?
Okay, it's Kimura. Kimura grips. Okay, before we get rated PG here, I do a lot of Kimura grips on. I just go up to her, I pretend to give her a hug, and I just like transition Kimura, or I do Americana, or like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, if I just push a little bit more, she's like, oh my god, and it's like, but like, why are you doing this for me? Well, I told her, honey, I'm practicing. She's like, what are you practicing? You're not even doing like, she's like, you're not putting force until you did at the end. She's like, yeah, but I'm just practicing that grip. I'm just like, or I go with like a rear naked, I do it like a different way, or just I'm just constantly giving her weird hugs and positioning. It's so weird how I use jiu-jitsu without her knowing, but like I'm always thinking about it in my house. Yeah. Do you guys think about jiu-jitsu all the time, or is it just like when you're at the gym, or is it also at home too?
Well, I run basically the podcast, 7 days a week, looking for guests, making content and stuff like that. So it's always on my mind. And then John, we're best friends, live across the street from each other. Literally, if I open up this window, you can see his house, right? And it's like we talk about it quite a bit too, but I don't think nearly as much as we used to.
No, the first couple of years, man, it was like nonstop. That's all we really thought about. You'd wake up in the middle of the night holding your pillow all weird. But
you no longer roll over. You only switch your hips when you want to roll over on the side.
I mean, we still think about it. Like, I would definitely not to the extent when we first started.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Really, I just think it's because you're not trying to remember so much. It's kind of ingrained now, so you don't have to spend so much time thinking about everything.
Yeah. Like we don't really like watch technique videos anymore.
Yeah, same here.
Or we used to, when we were in Japan for a couple months for work, it was like 7 days a week. We were jiu-jitsu. We were white belts at the time, both of us four-stripe white belts. And it was, jiu-jitsu 3 times a week. And then on the days that we weren't doing jiu-jitsu, it was like in the gym or watching technique videos. And then on the weekends, open mat. And then we would go in there by ourselves and we would just practice.
Yeah.
watching like Roy Dean's TV and doing technique like that. So, but now we don't really give a shit. So it's like,
and when we were in Japan, it was just us, so we could really dedicate a lot of time to
we didn't have our families there.
Nutrition, sleeping, training. Once we got back, we're with our families, so that's out the window. No more sleep.
Bye sleep.
Yeah.
Bye nutrition. It's like...
Oh man. So. And do you guys have any preference for like jiu-jitsu? Like, you guys prefer more no-gi or the gi? Which way you guys go? Like,
if I'm getting smashed, I wish it was no-gi because it's easier for me to get out of.
Okay.
But when it's the young guys that are really energetic, I do prefer the gi because I can slow them down.
Mm-hmm.
Put that friction, makes it a lot easier for me. Yeah. But what I have noticed is people that do no-gi pretty much nonstop, when they transition over to gi, dude, they're smoking people. Like, it's... you could do no-gi for 15 years and people are like, oh, you're a white belt, da-da-da. And then you go in and you put on that white belt like our friend Rob.
Yeah.
Like, dude, smoking everyone. I was like, good Lord.
That's good to hear.
Man, some belts quickly, please.
Yeah, I prefer gi, but I kind of go back and forth. Like, I prefer gi because that's the class that our instructor teaches is gi, right? Yeah. So for him to get eyes on me, I have to attend the gi class.
Yeah.
Because our no-gi class is taught by a fellow blue belt. And but I do enjoy no-gi when I go. I'm like, whenever I'm done with the class, I'm like, I got to start doing that shit more, But predominantly gi right now.
Yeah, for sure. Like, even me, when I started, I felt like I had to learn gi. And I didn't like do a trial class. I just bought a gi and I signed up the gym. And I'm like, okay, this is me so cool. I'm like Karate Kid, but like even cooler and all this shit. And then I realized that I did one trial class of no-gi. I'm like, holy crap. And being older at that time, I think I started at 36, maybe. I'm like, shit, I'm keeping up with the young guys. And it's actually harder. And I just preferred the no-gi because the speed, I wasn't used to that speed. I'm like, holy shit, it's so explosive. But I wanted the opposite. I wanted to be slower. So I thought gi was better for me. And I just did a 360. And I honestly think I did maybe no more than like a dozen classes of gi. That's it. I've been a no-gi guy for like for those almost 2 years now. And that's what I'm worried about. Like, I thought I wanted to do gi because I was so focused on belts and rankings. And I thought that would make me a better jiu-jitsu practitioner or whatever. But then I'm like, I think at a certain point, I just gave up on caring about the belt. And I know one day it might come to me whenever it does. And that's a question I want to ask you guys. Like, is like a belt or ranking really important for you, or is it like something we shouldn't be focused on? Like, should you be focused on the belt or not really? Like, what do you guys think about that, really?
John, you want to take this? John usually has controversial opinions, so I'll start his. And
I don't care about the belt. Okay. I did it first when we started, right? I really wanted that blue belt, but not like to show that I'm like any good at jiu-jitsu. I wanted it to show that I put in the time in jiu-jitsu for it to mean I took it seriously. That's all I wanted it for. And we were training hard to get it. And when I got it, I was like, okay, I still suck, but at least I have the blue belt now. And I don't know, it changed, right? Like, I felt zero pressure as a white belt. And then when you start advancing, like, you start getting pressure. Like, now you feel like, okay, man, now I got this. I gotta be a certain way. And I didn't really like that. I didn't care for it. I don't like testing. That was like a stress and a pressure I didn't want. I don't ever want to do that again. Even now when we go to class, you have to kind of like sign in, and that's how they track you. They look at that if they're thinking about promotions and things of that nature. I'm not ever going to sign in unless somebody signs me in there. I don't care. If it's like, hey, you need to show up to this class, you're going to get a belt, I'm probably not going to show up to that class. I don't want that pressure at all anymore. So, I don't really care. At this point, I've learned it's not the belt that says how good you are. I mean, the belt is a sign of respect. It shows you've been doing this for a long time. But guess what? If you're a badass white belt that picks this shit up in a year and a half and you're picking up stuff fast, you can be tapping out blues and purples, right? Like, you're good or you're not. That belt, you could be garbage and go buy a black belt and put it on and get your ass whipped all day. You know what I mean? Like
Amazon.
So for me, the belt's not that important, but I did want that blue belt only to show that I was willing to put up the time and the injuries and all that, just to show that I was committed to it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Well, kind of. No, I agree with John. It doesn't matter. I think, especially when you first start, you see these color belts, and you're like, holy shit, man! Like, I can't wait to be a blue belt. I'm gonna be like crushing people when I'm a blue belt, or you put these belts on a pedestal
Yeah.
because you really want to achieve it, and then you put in the work, you put in a lot of time and effort and everything like that, and then when you get that new blue belt tied around your waist, you're like, yeah, that's cool. And then you realize, like, all right, this is the longest belt in this whole freaking process.
Yeah.
Now I have years at this belt.
Exactly.
So it has its pros and cons. I think it's a great way to track progress, like John said. It's a great way for your instructor to show appreciation for what you're doing on the map.
Yeah.
It's a same thing with stripes. I don't think it's bad to focus on it. I think it's bad to have an unhealthy relationship with focusing
Very good.
on
Yeah,
it.
true.
You know what I mean? Like
agree
you
with
can't
that,
you can't make that your predominant goal in jiu-jitsu, because you're going to miss out on a lot of things that need to be done in order to get it. If you're constantly looking at, why am I not a blue belt? I want my blue belt. I want my blue belt. You're gonna get lost in the weeds. You're gonna see the trees of the forest, right?
Yeah.
The trees in the forest, or whatever it's called. So I think it's good and bad. It's all about the relationship you have with that goal.
No, I think that's spot on actually, because when I first started, I did focus on just when am I get this belt? When am I get a blue belt? When am I get this? Like, when it's gonna come to no-gi now? When we have a belt system? That's all I cared about. And I think a couple months ago, when I finally stopped caring about belts, that's when my game changed. That's when I noticed that, oh shit, now I'm positioning myself better. I'm getting a better, more dominant position. Oh shit, my chokes are going in tighter. This is because I'm not so focused on this belt. And I think I've come to realize that it's not just because you have a belt means you're better than everyone. It just that shows a little bit of respect and your knowledge for jiu-jitsu. Because in reality, let's say I have no rank, doesn't mean I can beat blue belts or purple belts or whatever. It just means you have more knowledge than me, and maybe today's my day. That's all. I have a good day, and I can beat you.
Yeah.
But there's also people who can train, like me being us being dads and stuff. Like I can only train twice a week, hopefully 3 times soon.
Yeah, same.
I hope, honey, if you're listening to me, I need 3 times a week. I love you in advance, and I'm sorry for the new mic I ordered. But let's say, I can do 3 times a week, or let's say a younger guy than me, and I started a year before him. If he's doing 5 times a week and I'm doing twice a week, this guy's gonna pick up real fast. And in 6 months, this guy's gonna be a problem against me, because now he's younger and now he's been training more than me. And on top of that, he's probably doing competitions where I have still yet to do a competition, which is something on my list this year. And speaking of competitions, have you guys done competitions or plan on doing more competitions now?
I did one.
That's more than me.
He's
That's more
good.
than me.
I haven't competed yet. I actually was just thinking about it this morning. There's a competition coming up in June, and I was like, oh man, that would be a perfect time. It's like June 22nd, so that would give me like 3 months to prepare for it. I literally haven't trained in 2 weeks because my work has been so busy. I've been on 12-hour shifts, so it's hard for me with the job I have to sign up for a competition when I can't take it seriously, because I don't want to sign up for a competition and then all of a sudden, boom, I can't train for the 3 weeks leading up to it because I'm so busy. You know what I mean? So it's but I feel like if I have ample enough time, I'll have enough time to overcome those barriers. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to just sign up for one that's next month, because if anything happens within that next month, it's going to, adversely affect my preparation for the competition. So I'm looking at in June doing my first competition. Long-winded answer to your question.
I say don't train for it. Just sign up and go do it.
Yeah.
Yes,
you'll see what's stuck for the last 5 years.
That's true. John, wisdom over here.
That's the way I would do it.
It's funny though, because do you guys have your competitions like locally in your area, or is they go to another state kind of thing?
No, we live in Washington State, right across, like I said, from right across from Seattle.
Okay.
So we have a huge, like there's always up in BC, they have them.
Okay.
You could just go straight into Canada. They have them right in BC, and then they're all over the area around us.
Here.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
You can literally do one like once a month or once a week. Like, yeah, you could, if you're willing to travel throughout the state or go to another state, you can do one like once a week here.
Well, here
don't cut weight, man. Just go up a weight class if you're worried about it.
Yeah.
Don't cut weight.
Yeah, I'm like 210 right now. So I'm gonna be, if I go up a weight class, I'm gonna be with like the ultra
heavyweights.
I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my god, I'm not that big of a guy. Jesus.
Have you went and watched any?
Sorry?
Have you went and watched any competition?
No.
I'd say go watch it, go scout it out first.
Yeah.
I did that. That helped me out a lot. So I watched all my friends compete,
Mm,
and then I was like, all right, what worked for them, what didn't?
yeah.
And then I was like, all right, now I'll go do it. And I was like, I saw how they were all gassed from trying to cut weight.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that at all.
Yeah, I literally our buddy Derek, he mentioned that right after his first match,
Mhm.
he cut weight to go down and he didn't have enough time to rehydrate or to really get anything in his system.
Yeah.
And he said his hands and forearms on his first match just like completely seized up. Like he's like, I
Shit.
just can't move my hands. And it's
God.
because of the weight cut, you know,
Jeez.
and everyone afterwards is like, okay, I'm never cutting weight for a competition
Fudge.
again. There's no reason for me to weight cut for a $5 medal, you know?
It's true though. But
Mhm.
the reason why I asked about that is because like here in Montreal, well, actually in Quebec, which Montreal is located in Quebec, it's actually illegal to have jiu-jitsu competitions in Quebec. So
I thought they just legalized it.
they just legalized it.
Yeah.
They just legalized it. So for now, all future competitions like I have to go at least 2 hours out to, like, let's say the closest one is in Ottawa. After that's Toronto, which is about 6 hour drive. So for me, it's like, holy shit, man. 2 hours go, 2 hours come back, traffic, all this stuff, maybe 5 hours. Just go for a $2 medal if I win, or just to go there, lose in 6
Yeah.
seconds, come back home.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
man. So
That was John's goal, right? What was your goal for your first competition?
So my goal was not to be submitted in 15 seconds.
Oh,
I was like, all right, I just want to hit the 15-second mark. But it was fine. Like, yeah, it wasn't that big a deal. Once they start the match, like, you're not hearing anything. You're not. And Revolution has a ton of people in it that are in stands. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty packed.
Yeah.
I didn't see any of them. Like, and I've learned that I don't like people coaching me from like the sidelines, like
Mhm.
telling me what to do. The only thing I want to hear when I'm in a match is how much time's left. Like,
Yes.
that's it. That's all I want to hear.
Yeah.
Like, that helped out a lot when I'd hear 30 seconds, 15 seconds. I was like, thank God this match is almost over.
Yeah, that's what I tell my
Yeah.
wife too. 15 seconds, 30 seconds.
But it's all good.
Yeah.
I think you should go compete. You'll like it. And
Yeah.
I think you're gonna find out you've got stuff ingrained that you're not even gonna have to think about that it's gonna happen during the round.
Yeah. They should actually introduce like a ribbon, like for jiu-jitsu, just like in track and field. Like I got like a ribbon years ago when I was a kid, like for 7th or 9th place.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
9th place. But yeah, I told myself for these competitions, like I'm not getting any younger, and I still feel fantastic at soon to be 38. Like I'm outperforming these young guys. Not to say like I'm anything special, but like
No, people at home are going to hear this. Next thing you know, they're going to walk into the gym. They're going to whoop you. Like,
bring it on.
I didn't feel a drop off till 40. Like,
It's good to hear. I just feel great, and this is coming back from like severe back injury probably 5 or 6 years ago that really like played games on my mind. Like I'm not gonna do anything. Doctors saying don't do nothing, don't do, like, just walk, like be careful, just take like Tylenol, Advil, all these like prescriptions. Like for why I have to live in this fear? Like, what are you guys trying to sell here over here? So like, did you guys ever think, like, since let's say we're older jiu-jitsu practitioners, that you ever got scared of like getting hurt, or did you come back from an injury? Like, is like getting hurt ever in your mind, or does it play a factor in your jiu-jitsu game?
yeah,
flopping?
every day, every class. I don't roll with people because I don't want to get hurt. I have a 401k to worry about. I'm not trying to have some brand new guy lock in a Kimura and snap my shoulder and I can't hold my kids. You know, yeah, it's definitely a fear, but I mean, it's something that we all have to deal with and worry about. I feel like we worry about getting injured a lot more than injuries happen, though.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So
I don't worry about getting hurt now. I feel like no, I mean, I feel like I'm defensive enough. I don't really worry about it now, unless it's some like freak injury that just happens. I'm not worried about it
Yeah.
anymore.
but John did just come back from a major injury, though.
yeah,
What was
I've
your
had 2
race?
shoulder surgeries, so
Oh,
I just those I'm always a little cautious of, but
yeah.
I just tap really early.
Mhm.
If somebody's getting the arm up over my head, or if they're pushing out my arms, I'll just tap. I don't even worry about it anymore.
Yeah.
And I'll tell them, like, yeah, sorry, you were gonna get it one way or the other. I just don't want the arm extended over my head like that, so I'll just tap.
Yeah, for sure. So what was your
What about you? You worry about injuries?
well, considering I already went through a horrible back injury years ago that screwed me up for about 6 months to a year, where my wife had to put my socks on for me because I couldn't do it.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was also even going to work. I didn't take any sick leave. I still went to work maybe a month later, and I couldn't. To give you an idea, in central or downtown area, we have this crossing light that it's about 30-second light, right? So to cross street, it's 30 seconds long. That's a lot of time. Average person probably cross it in 10, 12 seconds. The light turned 30. I'm still 3/4 of the way from walking. So it took me a good almost 40 seconds to cross from one corner of the street to the other. That's how slow I was going. I was so scared. I was like, if someone wants to mug me right now, regardless, I have no training back then, it'll be ideal to kill me now because I couldn't move. I couldn't run.
Can't run, can't get away.
The only thing I would do is
just don't touch me. Just whatever you want.
I would scream rape, throw my wallet at them. Hopefully I can hit them in the face with my wallet. But then again, I don't have much.
Your back out some more.
Brought my back some more. And I wouldn't make much damage anyways. I don't have that much money on me anyways. But just to say, it was the most scariest part of my life. And doing that, everything I get today is like, I don't know, it's a joke to me. Like I just hurt my back last week. I had a little pinched nerve. We were doing stack passing, and I probably was trying to escape the stack pass, and I probably didn't roll, or I stopped halfway in my roll, which is the worst. If you're supposed to commit to your roll, you're going backwards. I think I must have stopped. I didn't feel anything, but the next morning, I'm like, holy shit, I have a pinch the size of a quarter or something, like a little dollar, and it's just killing me. I feel good now, but like things come and go. You know when you get like, you guys spoke about rib injuries. When people unintentionally even just graze my ribs, I got this twice. They just like a little poke with the elbow, or their foot accidentally kicked me. I was out for like 4 weeks. Oof. And I think to myself, God damn it, I have so much respect for like people who like do UFC and stuff. Because imagine the beatings they get. And
I know, right?
I'm out for 4 weeks because I grazed my rib on somebody's elbow. Meanwhile, these guys' faces exploded. They're probably out for like 3 or 4 months, which is something we don't know about, right? You just see it on pay-per-view. Oh, they're good. And you'll see them 3-4 months later fully healed. But yeah, it's like, was there any? Well, John, besides like Travis, what was your greatest injury you had, or latest?
I haven't had too many major injuries. If I get like a little tweak here or there, I'm usually pretty good about taking the time required to letting it heal up just a little bit. But I have in my right knee from the military, I have I have tendonitis in my patella tendon. So for a while there, it's the tendon underneath on the bottom of your knee that connects it to your leg, the bottom side tendon. Okay. And so it's like 3 or 4 times inflamed than normally is. So sometimes it bothers me quite a bit. And for a while there, we were doing takedowns, and that hit the corner of one of the mats in like where the mats are connected.
Yes.
And dude, it was like excruciating pain. Like I like stopped. I was like, I'm not doing any more takedowns. If I'm going to pull guard for a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
But that was probably about it. And that was maybe a month of it just being inflamed really bad and everything like that. I haven't really hurt my back too much or anything like that. Just the typical beat upness, that we go through. But luckily, knock on wood.
Yeah,
I can't think of any real injuries in jiu-jitsu. Maybe I've got a permanent bent finger. That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, from it breaking.
I went to scoop down and grab some legs, and my pinky caught the mat all the way with all that force, and it rolled the finger back.
Yeah,
and my buddy just grabbed it and ripped it back over, and we taped it, but
jeez,
it's never been the same. It's always crooked now.
Yeah, and that looks like Captain Hook with the pinky.
It's my good hand.
I think that's like the biggest jiu-jitsu injury.
Grab my strong hand.
Grab my strong hand. Oh man. That's like my wife always asks me every time I come home, because I do night courses normally. So I get home around, let's say 9 or 10 in the evening.
Black stripe.
And she asks me, "Are you okay?" And I'm about 50% of the time I'm lying. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. Great night." Meanwhile, I got 7 cuts. Someone decided not to cut their nails tonight and freaking cut my throat open with a pinky, or. We did a lot of shin to shin passing. So I know it's burning, but the next morning it just turns like all super red. So I know that's a problem. My back, my shoulder again. But inside I'm keeping it in for her. Like if I complain to her that jiu-jitsu is hurting me or I'm getting hurt, she's like, just
then
stop.
Why do you do it?
Then why do you do it? Because I want to pay a lot of money to wear spandex to kill people. That's what my passion is. That's my calling in life, to wear either a pajama and do some slamming, or wear some spandex and just get really sweaty and fight men. That's what I like to do.
I just want to know, what kind of look do you have on your face for your wife to stop you when the second you walk in the door and you're like, she's like, "Are you okay?"
That's why I
You're
always
just like,
I keep the
His
same
eyes are
face.
swollen from crying.
It's always the same face. This is my happy face right now. Now, I know you guys at home won't able to see that unless you're watching on Spotify or YouTube, but that is my happy face. It's my same face. Happy and sad.
Yeah.
It's always the same. But then again, I always cry in the shower just before I go see her. So I take a cool shower. I'm crying.
There you
I'm
go.
like, let it all out. Then I go in the room.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm good, guys. I'm good.
it's the shampoo, I promise. It's the
sh-
shampoo in my
it's
eye.
It's this new shampoo I'm
You got to
using.
put a stool in the shower. That's what I do.
Stool in
Just
the
hot
shower.
water, sit down, and I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you thinking, to play cards or something? Just sitting in the corner drinking a beer, like, God damn, that escalated quickly.
but but let's say after all this pain and all this suffering we do, and we pay money to get potential $5 medals and just hurt each other, there has to be a time that you guys feel that, was there ever a time that you guys felt like, why am I doing this shit? Should I just stop? Is it I'm done with the jiu-jitsu? Did you ever feel that? Am I done with the jiu-jitsu kind of thing?
Yeah, several times. Yeah, for
But
sure.
to put it into context, John's whole goal in jiu-jitsu was to get a blue belt. Now he's hit the pinnacle,
That's true.
so he's like, I don't even know why I
I've
train
hit the
anymore.
top for me. So it's like,
I'm
He's
done.
at the apex. There's no more climbing.
Hey, look. I think the older you get, you start thinking about it. Like, how long can I do this? Like I
Yeah.
said, I noticed the drop off at 40.
Mhm.
I turned 45 in a couple months, right? Like, I mean, I think about it like, how long can I do this? Because it is a beating, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it starts impacting all kinds of stuff.
You
but
could say blue.
we'll see.
Blue is the new black. There you go. So blue is the new black belt. There. That's all. And just stop.
There you go. There you go.
But really, I just, I don't know, keep motivated, just try to go 2 or 3 times a week,
Mhm.
still enjoy life, do the other hobbies. And then as long as you're having fun, I think it's easy to
Yeah.
continue doing it. If you start going down this dark rabbit hole of you suck, is that why you should quit?
Yeah.
Or if it's starting to take your, like, if, we talked about it if you're starting to like miss your kids' games and family activities because you have to go to jiu-jitsu, that's probably where you're going to start going down the wrong path.
Mhm.
Because it's not your life. It's a part of your life. And you shouldn't get so enamored with it that you're going to miss other things, or like, oh my God, I missed a class. You feel horrible. You shouldn't feel that way. You're not full-time athletes, and that isn't your full-time
Mhm.
job. And keeping that in mind, it's easier to continue to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've gone through like my blue belt blues, and like you mentioned earlier, you get this mindset change of like you just want to have fun. And a couple months ago, I kind of had that mind shift.
Mhm.
Mindset shift. Jesus, um,
Take 3.
where I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do whatever. I'm gonna go to class. I just want to be with my friends, be around like-minded people, get some good exercise in, and whatever happens. And like same thing as you. Like I felt like a big difference in my game. And once I started having fun, I didn't care about who's submitting me. Oh no, a white belt caught me. Like I don't really care. Like hopefully a day one white belt catches me one day. You know what I mean? Like because that
Yeah.
means he's doing something right. So that's a good thing. But yeah, I wouldn't say I wanted to quit, but I definitely found it very hard to want to go.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like there was a very low motivation to show up to class because I felt like we were doing, no offense to like if people are listening to that train with us, like, it just wasn't exciting. Like I was like, we're kind of doing the same stuff.
Yeah.
Class is kind of boring. It's like, I don't feel like I'm really doing anything while I'm there. It's all like this internal stuff. And to John's point, it was more of like, taking over my life instead of being a part of it. And I
Yeah.
felt like, man, if I don't go to jiu-jitsu tonight, then I'm screwed, or, I'm going to fall behind, or, when am I going to get my purple belt? But
Yeah.
now I just don't care. Now I just go have fun.
That's good. Yeah, because even myself, like when I have to miss, let's say this Wednesday, I normally do like a Monday, Wednesday kind of schedule. And this Wednesday, my wife wasn't feeling well. So she's nice, my wife. She's great for this. She's like, go. Because she knows jiu-jitsu is important to me. But there's certain decisions in life where, yes, I love jiu-jitsu. I love to go. It keeps me in shape and all this stuff. But if my wife is sick, she's finishing late work, I have to pick up my son, bring him to the doctor, this and that. well, yeah, I can't like prioritize jujitsu for my family. Obviously my family comes first,
Oh yeah, 100%.
but my wife, like she knows I love jujitsu, but I don't feel guilty missing class because I gotta take care of them. But it's not like you guys are saying, like it's not like you're a professional athlete and you have to go every day and feel like shit. Yeah, it's okay to miss class. I think okay, like you feel like you're missing out, but it's okay. Like it's not the end of the world kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think, and also like it gives you time. But say for me, I was happy because oh shit, I wasn't feeling that well anyway, so maybe I get an extra couple days to heal up. So that's what for
Yeah.
next Monday, I'll be okay to join. I
Yeah, I
think.
completely agree. Like like I said, I haven't trained for like 2 weeks, so I can't wait to go back next week.
I
And
know. I hope his cardio's hurting because mine sucks. I need somebody to catch up to me.
yeah,
So,
yeah, or fall behind you. You
yeah.
mean? So I'm excited to go back to the mats, and people will be like, "Travis, where you been?" Like, but it's all part of your journey. You
Yeah.
know, I never joined it to be a world champ, so why do I treat myself like I want to be a world champ?
Yeah.
So I just want to have fun, so I should treat it as just having fun.
That's 100% true. It's that damn Gordon Ryan. He's challenging everyone. You want to be the next. Everyone compares himself to Gordon Ryan, which I find crazy. Everyone's inspired to be him. Like he's great. I get it.
I mean, he's all right.
He's all right.
He's never tapped me.
He's never tapped me either. So whatever, whatever. But like, I think people like expect too much sometimes from jiu-jitsu or anything, karate, Muay Thai, whatever. They want to be this mindset of like I'm gonna be the next kind of champion kind of thing, and they can't like understand that it's something to help you grow as a person, like on and off the mats. So my question for you guys is, yeah, sometimes it could like impact our day to day, or sometimes we just can't go. But do you find jiu-jitsu has given you something outside off the mats kind of thing, like on your work life, your personal life, family life? Like has it given you something more than just learning jiu-jitsu and hurting people?
Yeah, give me cauliflower ear.
Right on.
Nice.
Right on.
I have very little actually. I don't have very much cauliflower. I wish. I see some of these new guys and they've been training like 2 years, and I'm like, look at those ears. I want those ears. No, I mean it's giving me confidence. Obviously, it's good knowing that you can defend yourself against probably 90% of the population, somewhat, or minimize damage as much as possible. And then it's just that's pretty much it. It's a good way of exercise, even though I'm kind of out of shape now. But I don't know, giving me a really good friendship, giving me a badass podcast.
Nice.
It's like I feel more confident with my wife walking down the street too. So if someone comes up talking some trash, I know all I have to do is run away and leave her there.
Exactly.
So it's
spot
like,
on. Well played, sir. Well played. Well played.
What are you, John?
Well, if I find myself in a really stressful spot at work, or maybe I have to do something at work that's uncomfortable or whatever, I will always think back to, I have not done anything harder than jiu-jitsu. When I'm getting crushed by some mammoth of a man, and I'm not a claustrophobic guy, and all of a sudden I'm feeling claustrophobic, and I'm burning up in that gi and I can't breathe.
Yeah.
And I look at the clock and I see there's still fucking 3 minutes to go. And I make it through that 3 minutes. I've never found anything more difficult than that. So yeah, it helps me out a lot at work. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Whenever I find myself like stressed at work, or I'm going through something at work, I just think back to that. And I'm like, look, if I can get through that, I can easily get through this. And, that's how it's helped me with pretty much everything in life at this point. Anything that's difficult, I equate back to those hard ass rolls.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
It's fine.
You got to appreciate those full mounts to the face where you can't breathe. And that's like exactly like those extreme moments. Like for me personally, with my experience, like nothing's harder than jiu-jitsu, because like you're pretty much at some points you're dying, and 3 minutes might seem like an hour. That's what people don't understand. Like, oh, you only do 7-minute rounds, 8-minute rounds. I'm like, come to the gym and see how fast you'll gas out in 19 seconds. Like that time is very crucial, and you get quite a workout. And that stress that you get, because I used to be semi-claustrophobic, because when I hurt my back, I was claustrophobic of that MRI machine where I'm in a booth for like 30 minutes. Like I have to stop so many times. But besides that, there's other things in life that like I used to be very, very stressed out. Depression, anxiety, all these things I used to have that I know jiu-jitsu has helped me on my journey too, because even the idea of me doing, like now I'm doing a podcast, I do my Instagram channel, I'm doing all these things, social media, I would never have done this because of jiu-jitsu, because jiu-jitsu let me face my fears and not like doubt myself. Like I have that confidence now that even though I'm still new and I don't know what the hell I'm doing kind of thing, I'm just like, I'm winging it, but I'm doing it. I'm sometimes I'm shy of
Right.
my own voice. Like I think in my mind I sound like, I don't know, Morgan Freeman or someone like with a cool raspy voice. But when I hear myself, I'm holy shit. Do I really sound like this? I don't care anymore. I don't care.
Right.
And jujitsu is giving me that, like not to care, not to get mad for people who honk on the
Yeah.
street. I'm going slower. They call me every name in the book, this and that, or like I don't feel like I want to get angry. I don't want to I don't wanna, like hurt anyone. I just want to be relaxed. I'm zen and I have confidence. So I think jujitsu has helped me, and I'm sure a lot more people than me, and that's why I always praise jujitsu for everyone. I think it's just an amazing sport. Do you guys?
Yeah, I agreed with that. I definitely, feel like I'm more level headed now,
Mm.
much calmer of a person. And then it's a good escape too from your day-to-day life,
Yeah.
when you go to class and roll and get beat up, and when you feel like you're having a bad day, it doesn't get much worse than when you go to the gym and then you really have a bad day.
Yeah,
And then you're like, all right, I guess my day wasn't that bad.
The sweat goes in your
that
mouth.
Sucked.
Yeah, today I am the nail.
Yeah.
That's what I was at a class last week, and man, I got destroyed. And, I mean, everybody was just killing me. I couldn't feel my forearms anymore.
Mhm.
Like, it was like mandatory, like 5 rolls before class was over.
Yeah.
And I was just done. I was destroyed. And I was like, whatever. I was the nail today. Like,
Yeah.
one day I'll be the hammer. And the next day I'll be the nail. Whatever.
Yeah.
Or one day I'll be the case of staph infection, and then hopefully in a week or two it'll be good. See,
Yes.
Or maybe ringworm.
Or
Maybe ringworm.
Oof.
Yes.
I remember, here's a story. When I first got staph infection, I thought I was stupid, and I got myself cut badly by shaving. And here's what happened. I shaved, and I cut myself very slightly. And the thing is, the next day, I rolled, and a week later, we found out that someone had staph infection. So what happened was, on my neck, I got staph infection, but it was growing and growing. And I thought to myself, what an idiot, I can't shave. But then I was researching, and the doctor told me, no, that's a staph infection. So what happened was I made my little cut, and because someone had a staph infection, they rubbed on me and they sweat on me, it just grew. I got it all over my neck. I missed like 2 weeks of jiu-jitsu for this. But I actually thought to myself that it was the blades, and I'm an idiot. I don't know how to shape myself anymore, and I just made my neck all worse, when reality was I had a minor cut, and it just grew from staph infection. And I'm like, holy shit, what else like this? My wife's like, what's wrong with you? I can't move my neck. If I move my neck, it's going to bleed. It's going to pus. It's like, it's the worst place. I just let my beard grow, so it would hide it a bit, but it was like the worst place to, like, how do you want me to roll like this? I can't do anything. It's the worst. Do you guys remember your first case of whatever it was, like staph or ring? Like,
I got ringworm right now.
Never had either.
I put a picture on our struggle cuddle. Is this ringworm? And they're like, yep. I was like, fucking great. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had staph or ringworm
Not
yet,
yet.
so knock on wood once again.
yeah,
But,
knock on wood for real.
Luckily. I think I had ringworm when I wrestled, like my freshman year once, but other than that, no. I'm usually I don't roll enough with people to do it. I'm usually the guy that they're like, all right, everyone get a couple rounds. I'm like, oh shit, gotta go. Sorry, got the baby at home. Thanks. Like, y'all are disgusting. I'm like, no, just kidding. But I mean, I would roll with John right now if he wanted to, but afterwards I'd just bathe in bleach.
Bleach.
And I'm like the clean freak guy. I shower before every class, immediately after class. Like, I've always had sensitive skin, so I can't use like fragrant soaps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like really aware. And it's funny because I just told them I put a picture on one of our Facebook groups asking, is this ringworm? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll take 2 weeks off.
Yeah, just in case.
And our instructor's like, no, just put some iodine on it. It's dead in 2 days. You can come back. I was like, oh, all right. Well, we'll see. I was like, anybody want to sign up to be my partner? Crickets.
All right. So I had one more question for you guys. Now that you guys have Instagram, you're on Facebook, you have your podcast, where do you guys see yourself in the next 4 or 5 years from now? Doing all this social media, do you still want to continue doing the social media with the podcast and all that stuff? Where's the vision kind of thing?
John, what's your vision for this?
Go, John.
Well,
start it off.
as I've always said, Travis is pretty much the brains and the muscle behind the entire podcast. When he hit me up for this, we were in Japan. And he was like, hey, man, let's do a podcast. I was like, Travis, I'm not doing a podcast. And he's like, come on, man, do the podcast. I'm like, Travis, I'm not doing the podcast. I'm not a people person.
He's not.
And he's like, and I'm old, right? I don't know all this shit. I still don't know how to use Instagram. And he's like, come on, just do the podcast. Like, no, I'm not doing it, Travis. He's like, I just want you to come on the podcast with me. I will do all the work. And I was like, all right. And basically, that's how I got roped into the podcast.
Yeah.
And, but like I said, I enjoy it. You know,
Yeah.
we meet interesting people, but Travis hands down does most of the work. I just have my time in here where I come talk with him on the podcast. But I know Travis would like to see this as a full-time gig.
Yeah.
Because he's young and he still has dreams where mine have all been shattered and destroyed. But, go ahead, Travis. What do you think?
Let's hear your part. It's
Well, all right, Debbie Downer over here. Jesus, way to lead me into that.
Top that one.
No, what he said, no. No, I'm just kidding.
What he said.
No, yeah, I would love to have this full time. I would love to work from home and do, content creation as a full time gig. We're far away from doing that. But if you would have told me a year ago that we would be even as far as we are now, I would be surprised. We've had a lot of tremendous growth in the last year, especially the last 6-7 months. So it's definitely, I think it's more possible now than it's ever been. So I just got to keep doing what we're doing. And I think it's definitely a possibility to have John as one of my employees. It's like right now the LLC split 50-50. So we're equals. But it's like, I would love to do it full time.
70-30.
I would love. And I would love for John to want to do it full time too, if it ever came down to it and the money was right. But
I mean, it'd have to be right.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. But we need a lot more sponsors. We need a lot more listeners. We need people to support us through our sponsors. But yeah, no, that's definitely the ultimate goal. Even with our YouTube channel. I mean, if you guys check out our YouTube channel, we have a lot of content on there. A lot of the podcast stuff, podcast clips, shorts, and some extra content that we've done. We've done a grappler's holiday gift guide, and some other stuff. I did a gi review and things like that. So trying to find ways to where we can monetize our stuff a little bit more. So, but while still staying true to why we do this in the first place. It's not a cash grab, and I don't ever want it to feel like we're to people that we're going for a cash grab.
I mean, yeah, we do still maintain full-time jobs.
Yeah.
We both have kids, full-time families and all of that. So finding the energy to anything is just difficult sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
We don't even have an episode for next week because we've just been so freaking busy. Luckily, we already put out 4 episodes this month, so I don't feel bad for skipping a week. But next weekend, John's not going to be here. We still have an interview to go on next week, so I'll be doing a solo interview by myself. And
I mean, he's the personality anyway.
I don't think so. John is. How can you say I'm the personality when you look like Robert Downey Jr.?
I didn't wear my glasses. Nobody put
You guys are so cute together. I love it.
It's like we're like a married couple.
Yeah, I was about to say married couple is my next thing. But that's actually good. It's good to hear because my wife asked me what's the whole purpose of this social media on Instagram and this podcast? What's your goal? And my answer is I don't know. I really don't know. I have no one.
Just do it.
I'm just doing it. I'm having fun. I can't think long term what's going to happen. I don't know. A year from now, 5 years from now, I have no idea. And I think I heard this speech once. I think it was from Matthew McConaughey. He won this award, and basically the speech was saying someone's asking Matthew, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And the answer was, well, ask me again in 5 years from now. I'm still chasing that person. And I think that's the best kind of reference. You don't stop. Don't ever settle for 5 years from now what your goal is. Just keep on, keep on dreaming kind of thing. Just keep on going. I told my wife, I only had 2 subscribers, myself and you. That's all I had on Instagram. Now I have a little bit more. I'm having fun. I'm having more audience attention. I still don't know what I want to do. Do I want to do this full time? I don't know. I have a good job right now. I'm working. I have all this time to do podcasting, social media, and be a dad. And it's a good balance right now. I find it's just I'm not complicating things. I'm not it's not impacting my life, my wife, my son. It's really fun to do, and I see it with you guys too. You guys are having a blast. I'm super happy you guys said yes today, and I'm pretty sure it won't be the last time we speak. Hint, hint.
Yeah.
Hint, hint.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm definitely glad that you invited us on, man. It's always a it's always very humbling, and we're always very gracious when someone asks for our time
Yeah.
for, you know what I mean, to help them out. So can't thank you enough. You know, it's very cool coming on your show and talking jits with you, man.
I appreciate that. And on a side note, which you guys don't know behind the scenes, is actually I message you guys every couple of days for like advice for podcasting, and you guys are like
Yeah.
nothing but nice and helping me on that. So like a lot of people won't do that. So
Yeah.
cool, guys. Pretty cool.
No, yeah, I like I tell everyone, I answer every direct message on Facebook, Instagram. I'll talk to anyone that wants to talk to us or they want to badmouth us. I kill you with kindness.
Yeah.
I don't care. You know, and we're open books. John actually has a lot of knowledge when it comes to podcasting and whatnot. He just doesn't know it yet. But if you were to ask him about something, I'm sure he could answer and give you a good answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're open books about anything about the knowledge we've gained over the years, whether it's through jiu-jitsu, podcasting, or whatever. We're not those guys that are going to put it behind a paywall or you know, try to keep the secrets from how our success and whatnot. So if anyone ever wants to talk to us, we're always there
For sure.
So
right.
John's on Facebook more than I am. I'm more on Instagram. So
Yeah.
I'm old school Facebook format.
yeah, posting pictures of his grill and shit.
Nice.
I was like, why is this feeding my Instagram? What the hell? Who set this up? Probably my daughter.
Oh my god. And we'll for sure, and we'll end it on there. So guys, thank you again, and you guys can catch them on Elbows Tight on Instagram and Elbows Tight Podcast. So guys, thank you again, and again, we'll be in touch.
No oil checks here.
No oil checks
Is that
there.
what you're gonna say?
No oil checks here. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah,
It's
no
like,
oil checks.
no oil checks.
Let's end it off with an us. Okay. Thanks again, guys. Very typical. Have a good one, guys. Us.
All right. Thanks, guys.